You are a powerful alchemizer, and it is time to stop giving your power away to anything external from you. Coming to you hot with this soul transmission. I was just on my Instagram stories and I was like, you know what? I actually need to do a soul transmission episode on Sacred Whisper for this. And then I'm like, phone in my hand. I'm not going to sit down. I don't even know how I could sit down right now. I'm so freaking excited, but I wasn't like that about 25 minutes ago. I was actually pissed. And I'm going to share with you what I did to alchemize the emotion and the sensations that I was feeling so fast. Because the spiritual community, the healing community has us fucking confused. Has us feeling like it takes days or hours or weeks or months or years to alchemize the F out of different sensations, emotions, experiences. And it's just not true. It's not true. That is not the reality of 2025. And I'll also tell you why. So, okay, backstory. My Jeep, my beloved mud puppy, is in the shop right now. She's getting work done. Very dramatic. If you know someone with a Jeep, hi, hello, that's me. Specifically a Wrangler. Or if you have one yourself, you know that they can be very dramatic. It's a Chrysler. They have issues, but they cute. So it just, you know what? We keep them around. So I was taking my oldest son back to school from a morning appointment more into the city of where we live. And I'm sitting at a stoplight. It gave no freaking warning or indication that anything was wrong or going to happen. But I had a feeling like when I got into my Jeep, I don't know if it was that morning or the morning before, I saw in my mind's eye that I was going to get a check engine light, or like I saw a check engine light, and I'm like, that's weird. I haven't felt like anything was going to happen, but you know, it's a Chrysler, so it's going to do whatever it wants to do. And so when I was at this busy four-way, getting ready to turn towards the school, my Jeep did a slight shudder and turned the F off. And I was like, what the fuck? And I turned and I looked at us and I was like, it's good, we're good. And I was able to like turn the key towards me, then turn it back on. It started. And then I'm texting my husband. I was like, so this thing just happened. And I explained to him and he like immediately calls me, which is not typical for his job, especially now. And I was like telling him what happened, and I was dropping Austin off at school, and it does it again. And I was like, okay. And it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not in danger, but it's something you don't expect. And I was like, oh crap. So he stayed on the phone because my heart was like, oh crap. I'm like, am I going to make it home? And so he stayed on the phone with me until I did make it home, because I was concerned, even though it wasn't far from the high school. I was like, man, there's really not a whole lot of places to pull over between here and there, just based off of how the roads are in general. And so made it home. He was able to get off early to help me take it to the Jeep dealership. I thought we had a 3-year warranty. It turns out we have 6. Everything is covered. And I got a feeling, I was like, when we left, I was like, it's more than just it's a crankshaft. I actually have like a little thing that I hook up to my Jeep. It's like a code reader. And so we already knew what it was before like we took it in. It didn't indicate anything else was wrong with it, but I was like, I have a feeling there's something else wrong with it. And I get a call like 2 or 3 days later, and sure enough, my intuition is right. I'm telling you, since I've been back from Tulum, Mexico, literal spiritual vortex, my psychic abilities are freaking insane. They're bananas. I'm like, I can't even put it into words, but the psychic abilities are like fire. And so, okay. So I've been 2 weeks without my Jeep. And at first I was like, cool, no big deal. I'll walk to the HOA fitness center. I did the first time I went, it's only a 15-minute walk, but I was like, I wonder how far this is from here, or from my house. It's a mile. And I'm like, cool. I'm walking 2 miles, a mile there, a mile home. And then I do a midday walk as well, just for my own reset of energy. We live in South Texas. Like, it's actually, like, this time of year is really beautiful. It's getting more humid, but it's only a matter of time before it's hot as Hades. But I'm like, cool, no big deal. And we've got Instacart, I got DoorDash, Walmart Plus, like, if there's anything that we need, like, I had to cancel one of my son's appointments because my husband wasn't able to get it off. It's not a big deal. Like, everything's fine. But I'm going stir crazy. Your girl's a Gemini. I need to be around people. My poor husband comes home and he's like, oh my God, he's had hundreds of interactions with his current job that he has in the military, hundreds of interactions with people. And when he comes home, I'm like, dee. And he is like, oh my God, he's amazing, truly. And he's like, wow, you have a lot to say. I'm like, I know, because I've been around people. And so here I am. I have noticed the past couple of days I'm starting to get stir crazy. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to, like, I started my cycle over the weekend and I was like, cool, all good. This is like the perfect time to like be in the house and like not be around people. But now I'm like, okay, we're ready to be around people again and I'm stuck in the house. And I was like, I am 3 seconds from getting an Uber and getting the F out of Dodge here. Like, I am ready to get out of the house. I could feel it boiling in my system. Now, this sounds so stupid, but this is for anything. I'm getting to the point, I promise. Okay, so I had a conversation with my mentor. I've probably talked about it before, but I love being in mentorship. I've been with my current mentor for like 1.5 years now or something like that. I fucking love her. She's amazing. And yesterday we had a somatics call and I was talking about some of the sensations I had been feeling around something specific, and it was anger, which was really interesting that this came up again. And I'm like, why am I feeling this way? Why is that the sensation, right? And it's very interesting. We want to have emotional intelligence. Before I even dive into the rest of this, you want to have emotional intelligence, right? Like, we want to pay attention to the thoughts that are coming up in our head and our mind, like the patterns that are showing themselves to us that we're becoming more and more aware with quantum illumination Reiki, as our founding healers are finding out. If you've had a session with me, you know that the things that are meant to be in your awareness after the healing session, they will. And my students that are in our founding healers round of level 1 are all learning the same. They're like cycles, patterns, or even clarity in their business, in their life, in their path, and the steps that they're meant to take or being called to take. Just the amazing downloads that are happening are so epic. And so, yes, we've been doing all the quantum illumination Reiki recently. And so when those patterns come up, we want to pay attention to them, right? They're coming up for a reason. And you know that, right? And the same with the emotions and the sensations in the body, paying attention to them. I like to follow the feeling, follow the sensation, or follow the thought and say, what is this actually about? And what are you trying to tell me? So emotional intelligence first. But as I was continuing on feeling my blood boiling, I was feeling it actually in my heart and my chest. And I was like, I feel like a caged tiger. I feel like I need to get the heck out of here. Yesterday I was like kind of feeling like that. And I was like, okay, well, let's see, 2 days ago, I was like, let me set up a little cute space in my dining room. So when you come into our house, like to our left, the design of the house is just a dining room. Like, it's separate, completely separate from our kitchen and everything else. And so I was like, you know what? I don't sit in here much. Let me just like get my, essential oils going. I'll get some incense going. I'll bring down all my things. I'll set some vibey music and I will, and I'll just create that space for myself. And I did, and it was great. And then yesterday I was like, oh, that day I also ordered Salad and Go. I freaking love that place. And it's not far from our house. And there's like a million different places I could order from San Antonio, but I really like their food. It's either that or tacos. And so I ordered that, and they have iced coffee too, which doesn't taste the greatest, but I will like dress it up with like some almond milk and like my own creamer and stevia and like whatever. And so it's just like having coffee from other places, to be honest. So that was fine. And then yesterday, my husband worked days instead of evenings. And I was like, can you pick up some coffee on your way home, please? I just need some coffee. I just need to feel like I'm in a coffee shop. And I went and I like tidied up I call it my Zindan. It's my spare bedroom or office. And it's not that it was a mess at all, but I just like kind of like put things away and like reorganized a little bit and like set some things up. And I was like, okay, let's get to work. And then my internet went out and I was like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. So today, internet's back. We are good. It's fine. I did get my coffee yesterday from my husband and busted out what I could before our internet was like, and we're done. And then today, I'm like, no, I'm feeling it. I got to get out of the house. And here's what happened. Anger into passion. Anger into passion. When my mentor said that to me yesterday, I was like, yeah, I love that. Because when you think about the feeling, and I talked about this, I can't remember which episode it is. It might have been right before Soul Alive embodiment series, but I talked about emotional mirroring. How your emotions often mirror something else. Like if we're feeling something, we often notice what the world would call, quote, negative, or what I call lower vibration, right? Feelings, anger, guilt, resentment, shame, those kinds. They are proven to be lower vibration. We often notice those more than we notice excitement, joy, etc. But what's really interesting is that they mirror a positive, a quote positive, or a higher vibration as well. So anger mirrors passion. And I was like, shit, that's good. And I was like, okay, I can get down with that. Yes. And so when I'm sitting here feeling like a caged tiger, and I'm like, oh man, I can't. I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna order an Uber. I gotta get out of this house. I'm going crazy. And then I was like, okay, let me check yourself. I was like, what was it that I did yesterday? What was it that was said yesterday? There was something and it was anger into passion. And I was like, okay, if I turned anger into passion and I flipped this on its head and I took back my power, then what? Then what would it be? And so I was like, okay, I had just gotten out of the shower and I was like putting on my makeup and I was like, okay, let me go make a cold brew. I have cold brew coffee and make it like super bougie. I found, PS, if you're dairy free, Walmart now has dairy free cold foam. What? Yes, they do. Run, don't walk. So I put some cold foam on it. We're bougie. And I'm like, okay, if I wanted to move out anything, depending on my mood, I use music for a lot. But my favorite band on the planet, I listen to, you guys probably know by now, I listen to rock. I am a rock girl. Yes, you can be a healer. You can drive a lifted Jeep. You can wear leather and you can listen to rock music and you can still own your spiritual gifts and abilities and create a movement and create big impact across the world with your beautiful abilities. You can do both. You can have it all. So Shinedown is my favorite band ever, forever and ever and ever. And so I put on Sound of Madness and then just let my playlist go to whatever. And it was just like one Shinedown song after another. And I'm like vibing and I'm like curling my hair. We're doing like my hair needs to be washed, but let's do some beach wave vibes. And I'm like, I really want to come up with our membership for May, or our membership theme for May. I've been kind of thinking about it, but I haven't fell into it. And then it landed, which PS, I'll drop the membership link in the show notes. We are going to amplify your magnetism in May. Oh my God, it's gonna be so fucking fire. 15 minutes. I went from feeling like a caged tiger, going anger into passion. What is it that I need? I was like, let me create my own bougie coffee, got some coffee, put on music that I knew would move the energy out and took that passion and was like, what is it that I want to do today as far as my creations? Yes, I have some trainings that I am going to be creating for my certification program for Quantum Illumination Reiki. The next couple of trainings I'm going to create in Canva, and which PS June enrollment is open. So just DM me Quantum and I'll send that information your way so you can join our next class. But when I say class, it's more like school. It's an 8-week program, and you are going to get started from beginning to end, the entire step of the way. And so, boom, I was like, I'm so freaking excited. I need to do something with this energy. I'm like, I really need to order my, I don't even know what it's called, like a standing desk or whatever that you can go up and down. I'm like, I have so much freaking energy. I don't know if you can hear me right now, but I am walking back and forth in my house. And I was like, I got to do something. Let's recreate a podcast episode. Let's move this energy. Let's export this passion, this excitement, doing something with it. And I feel different. Listen to me. It did not take hours. It didn't take a day. It didn't take a week, a month, a year. No. That is such a misconception. Now, I said I would talk about like why this is such a misconception. It doesn't mean in the ways that we've done it is wrong. It doesn't mean that the ways that people talk about it is wrong. There's just another way of seeing it, right? And sometimes things come in layers, and sometimes things do take time, right? But I think that's because things come in layers. There are so many high frequency modalities coming out into the world now that we have such a beautiful opportunity to be able to shift quickly. That is one of the reasons why I got trained in rapid resolution therapy and integrate it into literally everything that I do when it comes to coaching, including my certification program, and the specific language that I speak in a way that it creates a transformation on a subconscious level. With Quantum Illumination Reiki, I am blown away at the transformations. Like, I've seen them over the last 2.5 years, as I was only using Quantum Illumination Reiki for my client sessions. And I started channeling it almost 4 years ago in June. But seeing these powerful healers from across the world learn this style of Reiki and the transformations that are happening, like even oh man, I can't even I'm so excited about this. Even tapping into the energy of the quantum field and teaching them how to do that in a potent way that was serving their highest and best good, they were having insane transformations. Then key 1, then key 2, 3, 4. I just taught them the 4th key, the master key of level 1, which is the final key of level 1. Then we're going to dive into other training, self-healing, healing of others, distance healing. And I'm also doing a bonus on how to get Quantum Illumination Reiki out into the world and be able to share with people from this perspective on how it supports them, because we're not doing traditional styles of Reiki, but because we're doing Quantum Illumination Reiki, this is a high frequency style of Reiki, of healing, that collapses time on your healing. It quantum leaps your manifestations, your healing. It gets to the root, because we're healing at a 5D plus frequency. We are healing at a cellular and a DNA level. We're working with the energy of the quantum field. There's no need for us to think that it's going to take days, weeks, months, years to heal anymore. The frequency of the planet is raising. The collective consciousness is awakening. It's demanding higher and higher frequencies. This is why you're going to see so many new modalities coming out into the world. So no, it doesn't need to take so long. Where are you giving your power away to even time? Where are you even giving your power away to time? Time is an illusion anyway, so why not fuck around and find out? Why not just play in the energy of time and just be like, you know what? If time and space is an illusion, and healing doesn't actually have to take super long like everybody says it does, but what if this could look vastly different for me? And how can I move differently? How can I move from that energy and play with that? And so I want to challenge you, and I want to just drop into your soul today a different way of thinking, a different way of moving, a different way of being. What is it that you are feeling when the sensations come in, When the thoughts come in, when the emotions come in, what is it that you're feeling? Why are you feeling that way? Where is it coming from? What is it that you need to know? Most of the time, and I think this is true for a lot of us, especially if you're here. I mean, if you're an OG, we had our podcast named The Untamed Healer, and now we're Sacred Whisper. But I'm just one of my previous Rising Phoenix clients, Katie, was like more like sacred. What did she say? She's like, not sacred whisper, more like sacred, let me scream at you, or something like that. I can't remember. But I'm like, you wouldn't be in our world, in our community, if you didn't feel that pull for something that's radically different. You're here for radically different. And so challenge it. If it didn't have to be days, weeks, months, year, hours, if I got to transmute this right now, what does this look like? It's not that we are denying what had happened, what's going on. It's just we're choosing a different way of living and being. And truthfully, I'm so much happier. And my clients are so much happier. So there you go. That is your soul transmission for today. I hope you have the most amazing day. Pop into my DMs. Let me know what resonated. If you want an Evolution membership, oh my God, May is going to be lit. The things that I have planned for the next coming months that happened in 15 minutes, I was like, oh my God, we're literally taking Evolution membership to the next evolution. So come hang out with us. And if you want to be in Quantum Illumination Reiki, our certification program, doors are open for our June class. So we start June 10th. Spaces are limited and they will fill. So if you've been thinking about it, if you've been seeing, if you've been hearing all the other podcast episodes, if you haven't, I've done tons of interviews with some of the women that are inside of our certification program currently. Feel free to go listen to those episodes. They are just so amazing. Hear their stories, hear what they have to say about quantum illumination, and DM me Quantum if you have any questions or you want to join. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.